Welcome to the show that teaches you the things your parents and teachers are too afraid to. The Helios blog. Today, on the Whatever podcast, they ask, man or bear?
The reason she's alone is because she's difficult.
Women are not accepting the bare minimum.
Women fuck men they respect.
All the women who say things like, I'm strong, independent, I don't need no man, like, y'all impress me.
Women just gaslight each other and say what they want to hear.
The man versus bear debate. Maybe I've seen this viral thing on TikTok, social media. So if you're walking alone in the woods, would you rather come across a bear or a man?
I've come across bears. I do a lot of hiking, so they're not like...
What kind of bears?
Black bear is the most common if you're going hiking in the United States.
Thankfully not a grizzly, but black bears. A lot in...
They're skittish.
Wyoming? Was it Wyoming? Yeah.
Okay.
I don't know, they kind of leave you alone. As long as you look down and you back away slowly, you don't make yourself look big, you're fine.
Mm-hmm.
So
you've actually come across a bear. Were you alone or walking with friends?
No, I was
or
with my mom and my sister. Yeah.
Okay.
We were backpacking.
And so you did come across an adult black bear?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
And so what did you guys do in that situation?
We really just, it was like far enough away that it wasn't like, right at our faces or something, thankfully. Otherwise, my sister would have freaked out and run away, which would have been really bad. But, you really just, you mind your business. You look down, you back away, you don't look, you don't want to scare the bear, obviously, or make any sudden movement. So it's really just look down, back away slowly. Which I feel like could be the same thing you could do if you see a scary man alone in the woods. You look down, back away slowly. So I think it could go either way.
Okay. Again, these girls have no realistic understanding of wild animals, really.
Okay.
But
so
I don't think
you did do that with the black bear, though. You looked down, walked back. Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
When you see them, like if you're backpacking, when you see them, you just kind of they just mind their own business. They don't really want your stuff.
Do you ever do that? Have you ever crossed paths with a man and looked down?
I feel like every time I see a man, I don't want to make eye contact.
Oh shit. Okay. All right.
Yeah. Translation: creepy man, a man below her exorbitantly high standards.
All right. What about you?
My friends and I were talking about this debate the other day, and I think that it's funny because I would say a bear. I think that if you were to reverse the question,
that's the right answer.
Respectfully, I don't know what guys say to this, but I would say a bear because I know that at least the worst thing that he could do is kill me. A man could do a variety of things.
Okay. What?
Oh, she's saying she'd choose to encounter a bear and not a man. Oh, really? No. The correct answer is man. What? That's crazy. You must be an idiot.
I'll get everybody's answers. We won't linger on this one for too long, but I'll get people's answers.
A bear, because that's easier to scare away.
No, that's... What?
Bear's easier.
Girls are the girls that say bear are admitting they're 304s.
To scare away?
I think. Isn't you're supposed to just scream at them and then they run away? That's the tales I've heard.
Depends on the bear.
I'd rather the bear still, though. I don't know. I'll take my chances.
Okay, so the bear. All right, what about you?
I love bears. I wish I could be close to a bear and it not kill me, but I'd rather be a man.
Smart girl.
Okay.
I'll take the bear any day.
No way. So all of them admitted to being 304s.
You guys are crazy. A man for sure.
Yeah.
A man.
Good.
I would say bear because...
Oh my lord. So, what is it? Where are these guys? Where is the Whatever podcast? Here. What does it say? Does it say somewhere where it is? No. But anyway, it's tropical, so I'm going to assume it's Miami or somewhere thereabouts. Or California. Anyway, based on the statistics we've seen, it's 50% 304s. That's bad. You got to avoid the bad ones. By the way, you can't even tell if they're overweight versus not overweight. You can't tell if they're 304s or not. Is it equal probability?
Large animals.
That's a terrible answer.
Well, bears are also dumber.
Yeah.
If a bear, I would rather be probably like being mauled by a bear would suck, but like
You're an idiot.
a man could sneak up on you, like they could kill you in like lots of other like really sadistic ways. Like a bear is just gonna maul you.
But if you're lost in the woods and
if you find a man, you're safe now. Congratulations. If you find a bear, you're even more screwed.
find a man that could help you out or build a fire or build a place for you to stay, like over the night wherever you guys are lost, like I feel like they'd have a lot more survival skills than at least I would have if I'm lost in the woods.
Oh, I thought this was
help you though.
Yeah.
I thought this was a
What
man with a
would help
motive
you,
of
though.
to kill
That's
you.
the whole thing
Many
about
men.
finding a man in the middle of the woods would be the dangerous part.
But what if they're
Like,
just hiking?
I'd rather be alone.
What if you get lost and there's a man hiking and he has all these survival skills that you personally don't have that could help you in that situation?
There's a lot
Man is better.
of men that would help women. Yeah. But there's
Yeah.
also a lot of men that would do the opposite, and it's like
Know that 304.
are you gonna take your chances of like I rather trust myself?
Here, so let me ask. So
304.
This sort of seems to. There's this assumption here that the man would be bad in the situation. What percentage?
also
Like so,
hungry,
the frame here is you pluck a totally random man out of say the entire population of the United States. Totally random man. So what percentage of men do you think would attack you?
A high one?
0.5%. Less. 0.25%. Almost zero.
I feel like it's also the fact that the man knows that he's a.
There's like a 99% chance that he would want to, do something, like, but he won't without, like if you don't want to. 99% chance this is the outcome.
Alone with you, and that he can get away with anything. It'd be very different.
Not
if you find a
necessarily.
No, that's not true at all.
on the side of the road. Like on the side of the road, it'd be like, okay, that man will probably help me. But like in the middle of nowhere, it's like you really don't know, and I wouldn't want to take my chances because I just value my life a little too much.
So, well, asking the question, since we are talking about you're just picking, it's a totally random man. It could be a good man, could be a bad man, could be a neutral man, I guess. So the good man could conceivably, say you're lost in the forest, he could help you survive. Could be a neutral man who just walks right by you, goes along his way. Could be a bad man who, murderer, whatever. What percentage of men do you think, if presented with this scenario, would actually attack you?
99.5% of men would not attack a girl. Maybe higher percentage. Would not attack. Would try to help or would try to help with the subtext of maybe getting something out of it. But hey, the key word is maybe, right?
In some way, whatever way that might be.
Are you asking me?
Yeah, starting with you, we'll go around the table.
I don't know, probably not a large percent.
What do you think?
I don't know. That's such a broad question, I feel like. I wouldn't, like of the US population, you mean? Was that what you said?
Yeah, sure.
I don't know. A low percentage, I would say. Not a very high percent necessarily, but...
You don't... Yeah, say an actual number, please.
10%, 20%?
Like 30, maybe.
30%. 30%.
No, that's very high.
Is that a lot? I don't know.
Well, we'll get everybody's answers. What about you? What do you think?
I would say maybe like 20%, like 1 in 5.
No. Lower, much lower.
5 men would try to murder you.
Much lower.
I don't know.
Humankind is inherently cooperative. There is a small percentage that are not, but they're the vast exception to the rule.
I think it's really context dependent too. Like,
also, it's possible that you get somebody who's related to you, right? It is possible. And any sort of relative, 1/8, 1/16, 1/32 related to you, is more likely to help you than not, right? And that's a big population. You wouldn't believe it, but as I said, people are more related than they're not, right?
What is he doing in the woods alone?
Well, it's just you've just plopped a random man.
It's just like by chance.
Totally random man.
I would say probably 20%.
So
much lower.
1 in 5 men would be inclined to murder a woman if given the chance.
Oh. I don't really know. Like,
No. They wouldn't even take advantage of her. 99.5% wouldn't. They would try to help with the attempt of maybe getting something bedroom fun related out of it, sure. But they wouldn't take advantage. In my opinion, anyway.
maybe I would say it's probably lower, like in reality in terms of like murder rates or whatever.
Okay.
I just think that.
Grid One Motorsports donated $200.
Yo, good to see you,
Let's
Grid
be
One.
honest, you will never see the man, as he knows why will be nothing but a drain on resources and decrease his chance of survival. He will simply watch as you give the bear indigestion. F you all.
Okay, thank you.
That was
He donated $200 to say that. It's so embarrassing.
That's so.
You don't want to invoke his wrath. Trust me. Okay. First girl's answer is mute because she was. What?
Oh.
Okay. I thought the microphones were muted. What percentage of men?
I can't even think about it. I think
if I
like
recall, you said like
a
it would
high
be,
one.
Who said
I would.
majority of?
Oh,
someone-
no. The word is moot. M-O-O-T is what he's trying to say. First girl's answer is moot because she was with people and on a trail and not lost.
I said a high one.
A
I
high
feel
one.
like okay.
What's high?
High? No.
I feel like 30 to 35,
304.
like maybe even pushing 40. I feel men are
40%
just
of men.
scary as a
You know, you choose those men, idiot.
woman. And like, if you're ever alone, just in the streets in the city.
No father figure. Can you say that?
Is already scary enough, and there are no bears. Imagine a scenario there's like no one else but just you and a random man.
Okay, so
That would be safe. You'd feel lucky. Actually, if this was real life and you were screwed like that and you saw a man, you would be crying to heaven. Thank you for saving me. Oh Lord. That's what you would say.
random 40% of men would opt to attack you
No chance.
in this situation. What about you?
I'd say a very low percent.
Did you say man or bear?
I said man.
Okay,
I'd rather
alright.
be a man. Yeah.
Sure.
And
Wait, be a man?
I'd rather it be a man.
Oh, it's be. Okay.
Yeah.
She didn't say it.
I'd rather the person in the woods be a man than a bear.
Sure. What percentage do you think?
A very small percentage. I think there'd be some men that'd be happy for like another person to find another
Sure.
person in the woods. And
Okay.
Yup.
I think there'd be a low percentage that would want to kill you.
What percentage?
2%, maybe 1%.
Lower.
1%. Okay. What do you think?
I think there'd actually be a pretty low percentage who want to like full on kill you. Maybe like 7%,
Still lower.
but like a good 30% that would like do something very questionable, even if it's like the lowest form of like sexual harassment. But like,
Oh, that's for sure. But he would help you and save you with the purpose of maybe getting something out of the deal. I think that's my. But if you say no, he won't do anything. That would be my opinion.
like for sure make you uncomfortable. Maybe even like 40%.
So, okay. What? So when you mean like they would essay you? 40%
Like
would
something.
essay.
40% would make you uncomfortable. Like they would do something that.
Well,
made you
couldn't a man just make you uncomfortable just by walking past you in the woods? Not even doing anything?
No, I'm pretty sure you get my point. Like 40%. Like for example, one would like, I don't know, like slap your ass or something like that. Like something that like is not.
Okay. All right. That's okay. You said
Almost.
man. What percentage though do you think would
Like
do
to
something?
murder or to like rape or like what are we talking about here?
Just
Anything?
try to say essay instead if you have to
sorry,
talk about
I'm sorry.
that.
I don't know, like 5 to 10. It depends what we're talking
5
about.
to
Yeah, like
10% of men would
5%.
try to essay or murder.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
I think like very small, like 0.1%.
Yeah.
Okay. What about you?
Yeah, I would say like 1 to 2%.
But you did pick bear, if I recall.
I did only
Correct.
because I am striving to be a large animal vet. So I think that I could actually help the bear if it needed it, you know.
No, you'd get eaten.
You're not really engaging in good faith with the question, but
She just wants to come in contact with a bear in the wild, I think. That's
I know.
what
But
it
Yeah, I agree entirely with this comment. It's so sad that these women think that a man's first instinct would be to attack them. If a man is trapped in the woods, then he's trying to survive just like you. He's not worried about hurting you. That's exactly.
You're kind of like dancing around the point of the question, but okay. So
it's because she's special and different. Why don't you choose her?
Numbers some of you guys provided were pretty high.
Yeah.
Well, here's what I've got. I've got, for the first one, she thinks that 33 million men, 33 million men would want to, and somehow do horrible things to you, which would include murder. The second one's 55 million men, by your estimate, would want to
fix that, Nick.
Do something horrible to you in that situation. The other one's estimates were still beyond high, but you really think that 33 million men in the United States want to murder you in a forest if they could? Like, honestly, do you think that?
No, I was kind of just shooting a random number. I wasn't, like, I feel like it's so broad, I don't know the percentages for that. So no, I meant not a lot. Let's just go with not a lot.
Okay, and then the other one's roughly 50.
She doesn't want to sound stupid, but she is. At least she's honest.
55 million? You think roughly 55 million men want to murder you in a forest?
No.
That is no.
I would like to say that like the misconception and like the high estimates are coming from the idea that as women we are kind of conditioned to fear the idea of getting attacked by a man and be afraid of that. And so our estimate would be high because we already think the probability of getting attacked would be high given that women are not necessarily safe when they walk alone. I think that's
actually not true at all. A man is less safe than a woman walking alone.
Where the misconception is.
Yeah, doesn't that seem to you to be illegitimate though? If your estimates are so high that you believe that as many as 55 million men in your native nation would just murder you in a forest if they happen to be alone with you? I mean,
okay,
don't
so
you think that kind of conditioning might be a little bit absurd?
I'll retract my estimate if it bothers you. But I would say that I can stand by the fact that like maybe there's an
why would you retract it
overinflated
because
estimate.
It bothers me. Wouldn't you retract it?
Well, you seem a little
because
bothered, that's why.
Yeah, wouldn't you retract it though because you don't actually believe that 55 million men in your native nation would murder you horribly if they were in a forest with you?
You're right. I think that it was inaccurate, but I'm saying that even though it was inaccurate, I'm speaking to the inaccuracy and saying the reason why was because lots of women fear being attacked by men.
Yeah, but that doesn't sound like it's very justified that they fear that.
Are you a woman?
When we start talking about the actual, do I need to be a woman to note if it's justified by the numbers, whether you should fear that or not? I don't understand.
I don't
Shouldn't
think
I be
this
able
is
to
a
use my
numbers
logical brain, even if I don't have a vagina, to take note as to whether or not this is possible or not possible? Do I need to be a woman to note that 55 million men obviously and clearly don't want to kill you in a forest? Did I need to be a woman to know that?
I think you're a little stuck on the number. I think like really what we're talking about is the female experience, which you can't speak to.
Actually, you can.
Yeah, but I can speak to the male experience. And don't you think the male experience can speak to the male experience of how many men, I think, would actually want to hurt you?
Well, I'm really happy that you wouldn't hurt me in the parking lot for what it's worth.
It's not our job to kiss your ass because you're a woman. I'm having an adult conversation with you. So
I didn't ask you to kiss my ass.
I don't know why I need to look at everything from feminist standpoint theory or from your perspective when you so easily dismiss mine. I'm telling you that your number's absurd. It makes no sense. And as you retract it, you very quickly retracted it because you realized how absurd it was. Why would you say that I have to be a woman in order to speak to this? That seems insane.
I didn't say that. I said that I was talking about my estimate, and you're right, my estimate was overinflated, but I explained to you why it was overinflated.
Yeah, I know, but the reasoning, so I still have to take everything through a logical prism. So even if you tell me the reason that it was overinflated is because of X, that still has to make sense. Saying that it was this way because I just felt like it should be that way, that doesn't actually make any logical sense. You're not basing that on anything other than how you feel, right?
Right. No, she based it on the fact that we're conditioned. We're actually taught to think this way, not just by our mothers, but by our fathers, especially like in the Hispanic household. Like our fathers will be the one that tells you, don't trust the man in the wood.
Yeah, but that's really kind of strange because even right here on this panel, the estimates are wildly different as to how many women think that they would or would not be assaulted or murdered by men. So when you say we are taught, like as a collective, that clearly can't be true, as there's many women on this very panel who gave wildly different answers, right?
Yes, but not every man is a good father who teaches his daughters to be wary of a certain type of man. You know, not everyone is brought up in the same way.
That sounds like an indictment of being raised by mothers only.
Mothers only? What do you mean?
I was like, there
Well,
would be
if you're
nothing
saying-
wrong with that, but
Yeah, there wouldn't, but I'm confused on your point.
Well, because if you're saying that it would require some kind of strong man in the home to condition a daughter to know what type of man to look for, wouldn't that be an indictment of being in only a single mother home, that probably wouldn't be good for a kid?
No, because I started off that statement saying that it's not just mothers that do that it's also fathers. So therefore, like, it's both parents who have the ability to teach their children about these things.
Well, was it your father or your mother who told you that such a wildly disproportionate amount of men were going to assault you in a forest if you came across one?
If I'm gonna be honest, it was both, but it was mainly my father who wouldn't even let me go to a sleepover because of things like this.
Yeah, but I mean, there's a distinction between not wanting to let your teenage daughter go to sleepovers under certain types of conditions, rather than an indictment of men and that men are going to just do horrible things to you. That seems kind of silly, right?
Well, no, because he actually like taught me like why it wasn't, like, you know what I mean? Like, he didn't just say you can't go to a sleepover because I don't want you to. He told me the reasoning behind it and like gave me the whole talk, you know?
Yeah, so that's not really an indictment of men. That might have just been an indictment of the situation, right?
I love that we said.
I think what she's saying is that the numbers are so different because everyone has a different background experience of what they heard from growing up.
Exactly.
Nobody actually knows what percentage. We're just all guessing. So some have a higher percentage because that's what the information they received growing up. Some have a lower percentage because that's the information they received, but no one really knows.
Exactly.
Yeah, but that's why we're kind of having a back and forth on it, right?
Yeah.
We can assume that nobody knows the answer for sure, but we can still reason things out to make a determination. So, like, let me ask this question a slightly different way. Let's assume all of you were trapped in a forest. You were in a horrible plane wreck, and you were actually trapped in a forest, and there was a bear there. Now, the bear hadn't been overtly aggressive, but you have been avoiding it like the plague because you didn't want to find out. You're trapped in the forest. The bear is there. You happen to come across a man on the trail who has not noticed you yet. Would you ask him for help?
That's 100%. They would.
100%.
Go ahead, going around the table. Would you ask him for help?
Oh, yeah. If
Yeah,
I'm lost in a
next.
forest,
You better believe that.
yeah.
Yeah. Would you ask
She's gonna be a bad faith actor. She's gonna say no.
for help?
Before I answer this, I think that
Here
like
we
I
go.
can see where your logic is going, where it's like, oh, why would you trust a random man if you were endangered?
Just answer the question, please.
Bad
Well,
faith
okay,
actor.
yes, but I think I know where you're going with this. That's just what I'm gonna say.
Okay. And then next one. Would you ask for help?
Probably not.
Probably not. You'd stay trapped in the middle of the forest with a bear. Okay, next one. Would you ask for help?
Yeah, I would if it was a man or woman or they or anything. Yeah. I'd
Yeah,
ask
but it's a
him for
man
help.
specifically.
Yeah,
oh, and
I
he
would.
has a rifle.
Yeah.
Right. And,
Yeah,
okay.
I still would.
And then next, would you ask him for help?
I'd eye him out first.
Yeah, I know, but you've eyed him out.
Bad faith actor.
He looks like a normal man, just like Ted Bundy did and Jeffrey Dahmer did. He looks like a normal person.
I mean, yeah.
Yeah. Okay. And then next, would you?
Yes. But I think if you put the situation
Hang
like...
on, no qualifiers yet. Hang on. I just want to get everybody's answer. And then next,
Yes, I would.
you would. And then next.
Yes, 100%.
Okay, so now we can give all the qualifiers now that the whole table has gone around. So can you guys explain to me the logic of when you're asked the question, would you rather be trapped in the middle of the forest with a bear or a man, you say the bear, but then when asked if you were trapped in a forest with a bear and a man came along to give you help out of the forest, that you would ask the man for help. Can you explain that to me? I really would like to understand the logic.
The logic is they're conditioned to hate men, so That's why they say the bear over the man, even though the bear is much more dangerous and the man is much more likely to help.
I don't think I even answered actually the first time around. I just said I've seen a bear. So I don't I don't think I
No, you
answered.
said you would prefer the bear because
Oh.
you've seen them,
Well-
and that you know how to deal with them because you're an experienced hiker and stuff.
I don't know if I'd say that. I don't know. I think being trapped with another person is obviously probably preferable just because you can have help, like building shelter, whatever, finding water, whatever you can. But then with a bear, if you're trapped in the woods, you're pretty much always with the bear. That's their home.
Okay.
That's where they
Okay.
live. So
And then next gal, can you tell me why
She's an airhead. Sorry. That's
why you would do that in contrast to your own logic? I'm just curious.
I think that it would just be out of desperation. Like in that sense, like it wouldn't
It'd be out of desperation in the bear case too.
be who's more dangerous or whatever the argument is supposed to be. It would just be a matter of like, oh my God, there's a bear over there, and we're two humans, and that's a bear.
Please let me know in the comments what you think of this very stupid debate. Very enjoyable. Alright. Let's end the video there. Hit the like, hit the sub, hit all for notifications, drop me a donation like Hunter M, Adrian L, Tom and Bobby, Dylan, Renaissance Press, Brian, Andrew, and Alan. Shout outs to you, most recent purchaser of Strategist Guide to Seduction. Thank you. Go buy my books at bit.ly/HeliosBooks. If you like early access to my content, I do have a Patreon. It's patreon.com/theheliosblog. And if you'd like me to give you better advice than these girls, just message me at theheliosblog@gmail.com. I do offer coaching services. Thank you so much for listening, guys, especially if you listen to the end. I really do appreciate it. Take care of yourselves, and I'll see you next time.